Hi there, this is Ruben from Dutch Round 1. Thanks again for coming by. Thanks for watching another episode. As always, I appreciate your time and I appreciate your support. Today we have 25 must-know irregular verbs in the Dutch language. So a bit of grammar, but before we do that, remember to give the like if you like this content, subscribe to the channel if you want more, and let me know in the comments if this is useful for you or not. But without much further ado, let's go straight for our 25 must-know irregular verbs. So how are we going to do this? Well, basically I'll give you the infinitive. In this case it's kopen. You will see the present, the first form in the present, the I form, that would be ik koop, and then I'll give you the simple past, right? Irregular, so in this case it's ik kocht, I bought, of we bought, wij kochten. So I'll give you the first form in the singular and the first form in the plural, and then I'll give you also the present perfect, the perfectum as we call it, ik heb gekocht. If you're not sure how to form a simple past, a regular simple past in Dutch, click on the following link because I made a video about the simple past. And if you're not sure on how to form the perfectum, the present perfect in Dutch, click on the following link as I have made a video about it on how to form them, on how to conjugate them in the regular form. Alright, all of these ones are irregular, which means they do not follow the rules. So for kopen it's ik koop, ik kocht, wij kochten, and ik heb gekocht. So why did I choose those 25 verbs? Because these are verbs we use all the time in our conversation. And if you're fluent in them in the present and in the past, this will greatly enhance your conversation skills in Dutch, and that's why I made this video, in order to make your life easier when you speak Dutch. But unfortunately these ones you have to learn by heart, so I'm trying to help you with that. Verkopen is to sell, so ik verkoop, I sell, ik verkocht, I sold, wij verkochten, that would be we sold, and ik heb verkocht is I have sold, right? Okay, now we go to the third one. The third one is gaan, but before we do that, if you want to keep me fresh and keep making those videos in order to improve your Dutch language skills, please buy me a coffee. You can go to the description, click on the link, and then it's pretty straightforward. I would greatly appreciate that. So the third verb is gaan, and that would be ik ga, I go, ik ging, and wij gingen, right? Ik ging, wij gingen, and then ik ben gegaan. Be careful, because most of the verbs in the present perfect, in the perfectum, are conjugated with the auxiliary verb hebben. However, there are some exceptions, such as gaan, which is basically with the auxiliary verb zijn. If you want more explanation on that, when to use hebben, when to use zijn, click on the following link, because I made a video giving some rules, giving you some insight on when to use hebben or when to use zijn as a auxiliary verb. Alright, we continue, and then we have lopen. Lopen is ik loop, I run, or I walk. Depends, in Belgium we mostly use it for running. In the Netherlands, lopen is mostly used for walking. Ik liep, wij liepen, so I ran, we ran. Ik ben of ik heb gelopen. Both auxiliaries can be used, as you can see. It depends on a few rules. Basically, if you use a verb of movement in Dutch and there's no direction, then you use the auxiliary verb hebben. If there's a verb of movement and there's direction, for instance, I've walked to Amsterdam, I've ran to Amsterdam, ik ben naar Amsterdam gelopen. Why? Because in that case you have a direction towards Amsterdam. Alright? Anyway, check the video I posted before on the link, and you'll understand better what the differences are between those auxiliary verbs. We continue. We have worden. Worden is to become. Ik word, I become. Ik werd, wij werden. I became, we became. Ik ben geworden, I have become. We continue with the next one. Beginnen, close to English, to begin. Ik begin, ik begon. Wij begonnen, ik ben begonnen. Alright, so I begin, I began, we began, I have begun. Again, this one is an exception. As you can see, the auxiliary verb is zijn. We continue and we go to the next one. Blijven is ik blijf, ik bleef, wij bleven, ik ben gebleven. I stay, I stayed, we stayed, I have stayed. Again, an exception. As you can see, the auxiliary verb is ben, from the verb to be, from the verb zijn. Now I'll give you a little bit of a hint, and in most of the cases, let's say 99.9%, if you see a verb with an ij, so with the diphthong a, with the diphthong ij, and you have to put it in the past, if it's irregular, it will always be an e or a double e. All right. For instance, blijven, to stay, to float, drijven, dreef, overdrijven, to exaggerate, overdreef. So basically ij, most of the time when you have to put it in the irregular simple past, in the irregular perfectum, that ij will become an e or a double e. We continue, and then we have doen. Doen is to do. Ik doe, I do, ik deed, I did, wij deden, we did, ik heb gedaan, I have done. Doen, to do, quite useful. We use that verb all the time. We continue, denken, to think, ik denk, ik dacht, I thought, we thought, wij dachten, ik heb gedacht, I have thought. We continue with the next one, drinken, quite useful, we use it every day and we have to do it every day. So, ik drink, I drink, ik dronk, I drank, wij dronken, we drank, and ik heb gedronken, I have drunk. Right? So basically that's it. We continue, and if you have to drink, you have to eat. So eten is ik eet, I eat, ik at, I ate, wij aten, we ate, en ik heb gegeten, I have eaten. Right? We continue, geven. Geven is ik geef, ik gaf, I gave, wij gaven, we gave, ik heb gegeven, I have given. We continue, helpen, I help, ik hielp, wij hielpen, so I helped, we helped, and I have helped is ik heb geholpen. We continue, kijken, again, focus on the ij, alright, let's see the simple past now, so ik kijk, I look, ik keek, I looked, wij keken, we looked, I have looked, ik heb gekeken, so that ij gets transformed again in that e or in that double e. We continue with lezen. Lezen is ik lees, right? I read. I read, we read is ik las, wij lazen. And I have read is ik heb gelezen. We continue bezoeken. Bezoeken, to visit. Ik bezoek. I visit. I visited. Ik bezocht. We visited is wij bezochten. And I have visited was ik heb bezocht. Alright? We continue with nemen. Nemen is to take. Ik neem, I take. Ik nam, wij namen. I took, we took. Ik heb genomen is I have taken. Right? We continue with rijden. Again, that ij, which will turn out to be a double e or an e. Ik rijd, I drive. Ik reed, I drove. We drove, wij reden. En ik heb or ben gereden is I have driven. Again, a verb of movement. If you have a direction, you will use the auxiliary zijn. If not, you will use the auxiliary hebben. Alright? For instance, ik ben naar Brugge gereden. I've driven to Bruges. Again, towards Bruges. You have a direction, so you use your auxiliary verb zijn. We continue. Slapen, to sleep. Ik slaap, I sleep. I slept is ik sliep. Wij sliepen, we slept. En ik heb geslapen, I have slept. Right? We continue with the next one. Spreken, to speak is ik spreek, I speak. Ik sprak, I spoke. Wij spraken, we spoke. En I have spoken is ik heb gesproken. We continue with to find. Ik vind. I found, we found is ik vond, wij vonden. En I have found is ik heb gevonden. We continue with the next one. And the next one is vragen. Vragen is to ask. I ask, ik vraag. I asked, we asked is ik vroeg, wij vroegen. En I have asked is ik heb gevraagd. We continue with the next one. The next one is weten. To know is I know. And then I knew, we knew is ik wist, wij wisten. And then I have known is ik heb geweten. We continue with zeggen. Zeggen is to say. Ik zeg, I say. I said is ik zei. We said is wij zeiden. En ik heb gezegd is I have said. And we continue with the next one. The next one is zwijgen. Again, look at that ij. ij turns and becomes an e or a double e. Ik zwijg, so I'm quiet. Ik zweeg, I was quiet. Wij zwegen, we were quiet. And I have kept quiet is ik heb gezwegen. Alright, so that's zwijgen, again that I, J, that A diphthong becoming an E or a double E. Alright, so these were the 25 irregular verbs which we use all the time, and the aim of this video was basically to make your life easier. Because if you know these ones by heart, you'll feel way more comfortable using those verbs in the present and in the past. So I know you have to learn them by heart, but in the end it will be for the best. I want to thank you again for watching. Remember to give a like if you like this content, subscribe to the channel if you want more, and let me know in the comments if this was useful for you or not. I want to wish you a great rest of the day, and stay tuned for another episode of Dutch Round 1. Ciao!